What's going on, guys? Mackenzie Long here. So I think that financial literacy is probably the number one neglected skill, and it leads to the vast majority of people being stuck in the sucker cycle. And some of you might be saying, that's not very fair. A lot of Americans just don't make a lot of money, so be careful who you're calling a sucker. And I totally agree with that. It's not that they're a sucker, it's that they're stuck in the sucker cycle. And it's merely because they lack financial literacy that they end up in that sucker cycle to begin with. And the challenge is they oftentimes end up there for life. And I don't know about you guys, but I love comedy and I watch The Dry Bar every once in a while. And I think this guy explains it perfectly, so let's watch what he has to say.
Almost every couple, one person's a saver, one person's a spender. In our relationship, I'm the saver and my wife is the spender, and we're both very good at what we do. So we recently got, like a distant relative died and left us $6,000 out of the blue. So we each budgeted it, and I said to my wife, here's how I'd like to spend it. I'm a guy, but I want to spend. So I want to get a QLED TV, an 85-inch big TV, right? And that's $47.99, and then I want to save the rest, $1,201. That was my plan. She looked at this, and amazing to me, she goes, that's all you're going to save? And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I got a much better plan than that. I got excited. I'm like, well, you're going to save more? Tell me more. She goes, well, first of all, forget about your TV for now. What we really need is a new couch, a new coffee table, and a new rug, because the other ones are almost 5 years old. They're out of style. I'm like, ah! She goes, I can get the couch for $2,900, I get the coffee table for $9,900, and the rug for $19.99. And I quickly added it in my head, and I said, well, that's $59.97. I added it in my head, and that's only $3 in savings. She goes, what are you talking about? It's way more savings than that. I said, how do you figure? She goes, well, first of all, that's the sale price. The actual price of the couch was $44.99. I saved $1,500. The coffee table, that was $16.99. I saved another $700 there. The rug I got for, look at $2,000 off of the rug for a total savings of $4,200. Wait, she went on. I'm now going to take that $4,200 that I just saved, buy that television, which I found on sale, saving another $800 for a total savings of $5,000.
Pretty funny, right? The crazy part is it's not that out of line with exactly what I hear when I'm working with people in their financial lives. And you might be laughing at that as well, because maybe that's you, or you know the person who sounds exactly like that. And now, for my generation, we always called that new math. And my teacher would always call that new math when we would try to do something and it simply didn't work out. Somehow, they were given $6,000. The wife figured out a way to spend more than $10,000, and somehow she was able to save $5,000. Now, the challenge with that is simply the definition of what savings exactly is. And you've probably been to the store, whether it was Target or Walmart, and you went and you bought something, and at the bottom of the receipt, they circle the little area that says you saved $25. However, when you look at the bill of what you actually spent, what came out of your pocket was $250, but somehow at the end of the day, you saved $25. And so we might clearly have a definition of what savings actually is. And because we have these simple misunderstandings about money, it means that we make mistakes financially. And instead of putting that money to work for us, we end up spending it foolishly, generally on instant gratification items. And so we never really get the chance for our money to grow. And if there happens to be any savings left over and we do decide to put it away, we generally put it in a place where it has little or no growth. And if we do have some left over and happen to be able to save, generally people will put it somewhere where it gets little or no growth and it really doesn't do anything. So essentially, people get their paycheck from a wealthy person, they turn right around and give it back to a bunch of other wealthy people who then take that money and use that money to be able to grow more wealth. So it's unfortunate that the sucker cycle oftentimes leaves many people stuck in this area of living paycheck to paycheck. They might have some material goods, but they never really have the opportunity to build wealth. And as you can see from this list here, more than $750 a month for the average American is just being spent on random things. And it's been concluded, and you can do this mathematically, that the difference between being able to live the lifestyle that you want and having to work forever is simply the mismanagement of $200 to $300 a month for an entire lifetime. So if we were financially literate, why would we be spending a bunch of money on things things that don't really matter to us instead of saving money for our future. And once we start to realize that, how do we change this cycle? And really the way to be able to do that is understanding that this is the number one economic crisis. Financial illiteracy literally impacts the vast majority of our population. Only about 30% of people say that they're financially literate at all. And if we calculate that out over the world's population, it means over 5 billion people are financially illiterate. And the average American, it costs them $1,230. This was back in 2018. It's probably even more now. These numbers have grown quite a bit. But even if we took that number and we multiply that over the number of Americans, that's over $295 billion that the American people lose simply because they're not financially literate. Now, I think the real number is drastically larger than that. If we simply looked at the things that people are spending money on that really doesn't matter to them and we added that to it, it would be a night and day difference. But let's say we don't. Let's say we just use that $1,230. That $1,230, if we were to put that into an account, just because we become financially literate, we save ourselves that $1,230 difference because we're not willing to make any changes to our budget and learn much about financial literacy, but we're able to just change that one thing. So we're going to put that money away for the course of our life. You can use this on an investment calculator. We put it at an 8% rate of return. So every year we're putting in that $1,230. It's going to grow, and it's going to grow with interest. And over the period of time, of course of our lifetime, that's almost $800,000. Now, obviously, if you wait longer, it's even more. So it's almost $1 million per person is the cost of financial literacy. That's simply becoming financially literate and making better decisions. This isn't even including changing your budget. Put over $1 million per person into their hands over the course of their lifetime. To me, that is a big deal. The challenge is if we go back to that original number, we average it over the Americans, that $295 billion goes into the pocket of who? And do you think that they are financially invested in you becoming financially literate? Do you think they want this information to get out, that they want you to be financially educated? It's a good question to say, well, why don't we learn these things in school? Why isn't this taught? If we open up the STEM fields and we open up all these other programs, why isn't it that we're teaching about money, the number one thing that everybody needs? I had a funny comment. If you haven't added me on Facebook, you should. I had a great comment. I posted this. I said 30% of Americans understand how money works. The other 70% don't. And 100% of us use money every day. And one of my friends was funny enough. He said, that's not actually true. The vast majority of us don't use money simply because we don't have any. And I thought that was pretty hilarious. And that's absolutely true. So the question becomes, how do we fix that? How do we start getting these things on track? And the answer is financial literacy. And there's a couple different ways that we can become financially literate. You can do it on your own. You can join my YouTube channel. Make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe as well. And don't forget the little bell so that way you can see when all these new videos come out. You can listen to myself and other gurus like Dave Ramsey or the Money Guys, or there's so many of them out there that I can't list all of them. And you can kind of try to piece these things together and take different informations from different people, but understanding the entire concept is really important because it's usually when we're trying to piece things together from a bunch of different people that it doesn't necessarily work well. And what's most important, it would kind of be like taking workout advice from a bunch of different people and trying to make your own program, not understanding your own body. And that's oftentimes what people try to do financially, is they don't understand their particular situation, and these other advices might not work for what it is that they're trying to do. For instance, if you don't really want to do real estate, but you're trying to get financial advice from somebody like Grant Cardone, that's not really going to translate to the way that you want to build wealth or the way that's going to work for you. So everybody is different, just like a fingerprint is different, so is everybody's financial situation, their financial plan, and where they want to go in their financial life, and also how they want to get there. So one of the best ways that I believe in, that I've been using both for myself and for my clients, is the book How Money Works. It's a very easy read. It's very simple and it's a lot of fun. It's cartoon characters, so anybody can read it. I think even your kids could understand most of the concepts in this book, but it's powerful enough that if you understand it and you apply it, it will change your life financially. And you can order this book, How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker, on Amazon. It's about 26 bucks. I'll put a link down below. You can order it. It is affiliate link. I think I make 10 cents on it. If you want to order it from there, you can go directly to Amazon. Or if you want, we are doing a financial literacy giveaway. If you're still watching this in the month of August 2022, or maybe if it's a little bit after, if you fill out your information and we have anything left over, we might be able to send it your way, so fill it out anyway. But what we're doing is the link down below is a MailChimp link. It takes you to a third party where basically you fill out some basic information, your name, your phone number, and your email address, and we will reach out to you via email or via phone so that we can get you some of these financial literacy resources. We'll ask you for your actual address that way on the phone, so that way we can send you a book and some other resources. And that's really the way we do it. I wish it was more complicated than that. I'm an engineer, I love complicated things, but it's really that simple. I think that's how we start turning these things around. We've had a terrible economy lately, we have all kinds of crazy things going on. I think the way that we fix that is by fixing the home and what's going on financially. When we can make a home strong financially, and we do that enough times, we can make a community strong. And when we can make a community strong financially, we can make a state strong. And when we can make a state strong financially, we can make the country strong financially. And then we have the ability to help everybody else. The challenge is we're rotten on the inside and we're still trying to give money away to everybody else. And that's why we're seeing huge inflation and everything else that's going on right now is we're a sinking ship trying to give away life rafts to other people. And we need to figure out these things. The challenge is if the people are financially illiterate, we elect people who are financially illiterate and that do things that obviously don't work. They sound like the lady in that comedy skit. Same exact thing, right? If you were listening to some of these politicians, we're going to give away $3 trillion and it's not going to cost us anything. Okay, you're doing new math and you need to go back to school. The challenge is the vast majority of our population is financially illiterate, so they believe what it is that they're saying, just like the lady talking about buying the couch and the coffee table and the rug. They believe that they're actually going to be saving money by giving that money away, and it simply just doesn't work because they don't understand how money works. So that's how we fix it, is we make you guys strong, and then we can start to turn this thing around. The more people that become financially illiterate, I think the better our country becomes. Now, not right away, because you're not going to be buying dumb stuff all of the time, but eventually we will right the boat. And I hope that you can take part of that. I hope that that's something that you can come alongside of me with. And it might be a lofty goal, but I think together we can do it. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe. And don't forget to fill out that MailChimp link down below or order your book. And if you do any of those things, please put in the comments that you did them, because I would like to personally thank you and say hi and just introduce myself and get to know you a little bit better. And don't forget to also hit the little bell so you can stay subscribed and help build your financial literacy. And on this channel, we work on the 5 F's. It's going to be our faith, our family, our finances, our fitness, and even how to have fun. If those things are important to you, come along this journey with us, join our community. And as always, I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you later.